but it's also like changing your habits and your routine.
That's it.
So you just got to do a little bit more movement or whatever it is. Or some people, they might find intermittent fasting a lot more achievable because it entails...
I've been just experimenting with again.
Not
it really
eating.
is working.
Exactly, man.
Really
and
is.
I think that's a really good idea for people to just at least have a look at and have a crack at, because all it means is that you just don't eat between this time and this time, but it's not deprivation. It's totally natural.
That was said recently was intent. I just love that word. Like, go with intent into who you are and your diet, but like having them achievable tasks. And the intermittent fasting one for me was like, right, I'm always grazing or eating little bits when I don't need to be. So I'm just going to not eat till 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. That's my intent, going with that. And then I finish at 8. I've got a goal there, and I've been hitting it, and it feels really good from that, just going in with that intent.
That's
Have
big.
you experienced a similar thing?
Yeah, totally, man. Like so the year when I first did my year of sobriety, as a part of this sort of like what I built up in my head as being like a research project, like treating myself as a guinea pig, which is what I did. Like I made lots of quite big changes in various different levels of my health. My approach was my health and well-being. And I experimented with a variety of different diets and things like that. I did keto diet for a little bit. I was kind of dabbling with just trying to increase the diversity of different foods, the whole foods that I was eating and things like this. I went sugar-free. I was just doing all sorts of bits. And I think that, there's something really important about just kind of like being easy on yourself, like going easy with yourself, but setting yourself challenges if you like the idea of setting yourself challenges. If whatever resonates with you, if you're a goal setter, set goals. If you're more about intentions, then have positive intentions. Think about it. If you're about visualization, visualize it. Do you know what I mean? But whatever it is, just try and make sure that it's something that makes you feel good,
That's cool.
excited, positive. You don't feel like you're going to beat yourself up. You know what I mean? The fact that you're even trying to make positive changes in your life is the most important thing. Like, everybody deserves a round of applause for just giving a shit and wanting to improve their existence. Like, that's fantastic in itself. And that is obviously coming from a place of positive intention. You want better for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's a really, really fantastic place to be. But don't underestimate yourself either. Like, you have the potential and the capacity to make drastic, radical, significant, really kind of empowering, nourishing, profound changes, maybe not all at once and maybe not all this year. Do you know what I mean? And for me, it's that thing as well. Like, there's times when I get into this mindset of like, right then, I'm going to step up, I'm going to rise to this challenge. I'm going to make this month be a month where I go hardcore on like meditation and kind of want to do some barefoot running. I'm going to go swimming. I'm going to kind of like do loads of stuff in the community. I'm going to plan this big event and blah, 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 right? And I end up visualizing this big thing. And I very rarely achieve it all, right? I aim for the stars and I land on the moon, and I'm happy with that. Do you get me?
Cool.
But I take the pressure off myself from the word go.
Yeah.
I don't feel like, this has got to happen. I just feel like, yo, man, enjoy
your attitude towards that intent.
Like, enjoy the idea that you've got an imagination. As a human being, you've got the capacity to actually think big. You have the ability, and that's creative thinking in itself, to project into the future. Enjoy thinking about possibilities and visualizing a better world or a better community or a better life. And whatever you end up then going on to do with others or whatever, it just is what it is. You can reflect on it, you can learn from it, and then you can make new plans, you can have new intentions, whatever. But one of the most disempowering and saddest things is when people are kind of beating themselves up about things. We get enough, our self-esteem is chipped at enough from advertisements, big corporations, politicians are trying to gaslight us all of the time. There's no need for us to be doing it to ourselves as well. Do you know what I mean? And each other. So we've got to be gentle with ourselves and compassionate towards ourselves and supportive of ourselves. It's all good.
It's a great spin that I'd not really heard before, because again, people go this way or this way. So say New Year's coming up, everyone has a resolution, and you can get people go, I'm going to make all these resolutions and do all this, and by the end of January, because they haven't started to implement them, they're like fall off the radar and they don't have anything then. They're like, sod it.
Yeah.
But then you get people say, well, don't do that, don't bother doing any. And I think that perspective, or they say, oh, just do tiny steps. Well, that's a spin I've never heard, where it's like, yeah, go for it. Do whatever makes you feel good, whatever makes you feel comfortable, but just don't have too much of an expectation on that. And like you say, aim for the stars, land on the moon. What a beautiful attitude that is, because you can do as much as you want, but if you don't achieve it all, just be proud of what you do.
Totally, bro.
And that's a great attitude.
Respect. And on a quick tip, man, because I can scare people with my lists, right? I'm a man of lists, that can really intimidate people that hate lists. But I've had chats with people about like I have like weekly to-do lists, but they're not really to-do lists. They're kind of like possibility lists. They're more like every single Sunday I'll set myself like things that I could do in the week ahead to do with the different goals that I'm working towards. So I've got like these little gridded pads that I enjoy, these little pucker pads.
Wicked.
And I've got like, I'll set 15 goals if you like, but it's this thing, it's not really a goal. It's just like a possibility. It's something that I could be doing. It's something that I know that I want to do, but it doesn't matter if it doesn't get done. It is just what it is. Yeah. So I've got like, my Praxis probiotic goals. I've got my holistic health goals, my social solidarity goals that are set to do with my relationships with my friends and my people. I've got my book goals. I'm training to be a therapist as well, so I've got those goals.
I'll be coming.
I've got like goals to do with creative writing, goals to do with being like an ethical consumer and an activist and all these different things. And I just think of things that I could do, right? And the truth is, man, even if I go through the whole week and I don't cross off a single thing, it doesn't matter. But kind of what does matter is the idea that I just put a bit of time aside at the start of the week to reconnect with what I'm about and reconnect with some of the things that I would like to do. And just by putting my mind in that place where I'm actually thinking about what I would like to achieve, writing them down as possible as intentions and possible actions and things like that, even if I just threw that under the bed, man, and just didn't look at it again, it's like a process of visualization in itself. Just the fact that you're even acquainting yourself with that place, and then you're embarking upon the week from that space. The decisions that you make and the kind of general outlook and the kind of moves, the directions that you're moving in are more likely going to be in those directions, and you're going to have, a more positive time potentially for me. This ain't for everybody, but for me, than if I don't bother doing it at all.
Yeah.
For some people, it's probably in their best interest that they don't bother doing it at all, and that's absolutely fine. You work out your own way. You know what I'm saying?
What a beautiful attitude, man. I feel this podcast would and could be infinite because we can go on everywhere. I upload to Spreaker.